From the very beginning of human history, people have wanted to capture the world around them, to keep memories alive. Long before modern cameras, this dream started with something simple yet magical: light and shadow. As early as 500 BC, ancient Chinese philosophers discovered that when light passed through a small hole into a dark room, it projected an image of the outside world upside down on the opposite wall. They didn't know it yet, but they had just found the earliest form of the camera obscura, the first camera. Centuries later, Greek thinkers like Aristotle also noticed this strange effect. Artists began using this technique to trace outlines for more accurate paintings. The idea of using light to capture reality was taking shape, and the story of the camera had quietly begun. Centuries after the discovery of the camera obscura, the study of light began to move from mystery to science. In the 11th century, a brilliant Arab scientist named Ibn al-Haytham, also known as Al-Hazen, began experimenting with light, reflection, and lenses. He realized that light travels in straight lines, and when it passes through a small opening, it forms a clear image of the world outside. Ibn al-Haytham's discoveries reached scholars across Europe centuries later. Scientists like Roger Bacon and Johannes Kepler expanded on his work, exploring how lenses could bend and focus light to form sharper images. This understanding would eventually lead to the invention of telescopes, microscopes, and yes, cameras. Over the next few centuries, the camera obscura evolved from a simple box into a tool used by artists and scientists alike. By the Renaissance, artists used it to project realistic images onto canvas, helping them paint lifelike portraits and landscapes. These early experiments brought humanity one step closer to capturing images permanently. Over the next few centuries, the camera obscura evolved from a simple box into a tool used by artists and scientists alike. By the Renaissance, artists used it to project realistic images onto canvas, helping them paint lifelike portraits and landscapes. These early experiments brought humanity one step closer to capturing images permanently. Fast forward to the 1800s. French inventor Joseph Niepce created the first permanent photograph in 1826. He used a process called heliography, capturing an image from his window using a pewter plate coated with bitumen. The exposure took several hours, but it marked the beginning of photographic history, the first step from light to memory. This invention proved that light could truly paint, not just on canvas, but on metal and glass, forever changing how humans preserve time. That single image, a quiet rooftop view, became a silent witness to human curiosity. From that moment on, the world would never look at light the same way again. Every beam of sunlight, every shadow on a wall, now held the promise of being captured forever. And with Niepce's discovery, the dream of freezing moments in time finally came to life. Soon after, Louis Daguerre developed the daguerreotype, creating clearer images in just minutes instead of hours. Crowds gathered in small studios, amazed to see themselves captured for the first time. These portraits felt magical, a frozen moment of life reflected in silver and light. Artists and inventors across Europe raced to improve the process, each adding their own spark of creativity. The camera was no longer just science, it had become an art form. People proudly displayed their portraits in homes and galleries, turning photographs into treasures of memory. Every new photograph captured not just a face, but a story, a glimpse into life from a century ago. Photography began to bridge art and reality, inspiring painters, scientists, and dreamers alike. And with every click of the shutter, the world grew a little closer to seeing itself through new eyes. In 1888, a man named George Eastman changed the world of photography forever. He introduced the Kodak camera, a simple box that made capturing memories easy for everyone. For the first time, anyone could become a photographer, no darkroom, no training, just a click. This small invention opened a big door, turning everyday life into art. one photo at a time. Eastman's idea was simple: you press the button, we do the rest. Now, ordinary people could capture moments without needing a studio or chemicals. Photography had finally stepped out of laboratories and into everyday life. For the first time, families could hold their memories in their hands. Each photo became a piece of history, a story told through smiles, laughter, and love. People began documenting birthdays, travels, and moments once lost to time. Photography spread quickly around the world. From cities to small villages, everyone wanted to capture their stories. What began as a scientific discovery had now become a global language of memories. By the late 1990s, digital cameras became household items. Families captured holidays, birthdays, and everyday life without worrying about film rolls. Photography had officially gone mainstream. From Sasson's prototype to today's 8K cameras, digital photography continues to evolve. Each click captures more than just an image, it records our history in pixels. In 1975, a Kodak engineer named Stephen Sasson built the first digital camera. A bulky box that recorded black and white images onto a cassette tape. That single invention marked the dawn of a new era, photography without film. As technology advanced, film gave way to pixels. Digital sensors replaced chemical reactions, turning light into data, and data into pictures. The process became faster, sharper, and cheaper. By the late 1990s, digital cameras became household items. Families captured holidays, birthdays, and everyday life without worrying about film rolls. Photography had officially gone mainstream. From Sasson's prototype to today's 8K cameras, digital photography continues to evolve. Each click captures more than just an image, it records our history in pixels. When the first camera phone appeared in the early 2000s, it changed photography forever. Suddenly, everyone carried a camera, not in a bag, but in their pocket. Moments became memories in just a tap. As smartphones got smarter, so did their cameras. Megapixels multiplied, lenses expanded, and photography became part of everyday life. Now, anyone could be a photographer, anytime, anywhere. Social media turned photos into language, likes, hearts, and comments replaced photo albums. We no longer just take pictures. We share our stories with the world. The camera became a bridge between people and cultures. Today's smartphones use AI to enhance every photo, predicting colors, lighting, and emotion. From capturing the stars to scanning 3D worlds, cameras are no longer just tools. They're storytellers. The journey that began with light and shadow now fits right in your palm.